guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is debbyoje. If you're new and you haven't seen any of my old videos, make sure you check some of them out, and also don't forget to smash that red subscribe button down below. Today's video is going to be another video in my beginners December series. I'm going to be showing you guys how I was able to achieve my flawless, glowy looking dewy foundation routine in the winter time, and I'm just going to be sharing a few tips and tricks of how I'm able to keep my foundation looking flawless and in place all day during the winter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you in the next beginners December series. So guys, basically we're just going to jump right into the video. I already have my eyebrows and my eyeshadow done, well, half done, not done. For my flawless foundation routine, guys, the most important step I tell people is moisturizing. If you don't have a nice moisturized base underneath your foundation, your skin is going to be looking ashy, it's going to be cracking through your foundation, and everything's just going to be a hot mess. So I really like to moisturize before I start my foundation routine, and I've already moisturized off camera, so you can just use any moisturizer of your choice. It doesn't matter. The next step is to prime. Because it's winter time, my foundation routine is a bit more mattifying as opposed to dewy, but I still get a glowing effect basically because of how I work my routine. So now I'm just applying the Becca Evermatte Poreless priming perfector to my skin, and I'm just smoothing that on my face. This primer is very mattifying and very drying, so I try to avoid putting it underneath my eyes because that is the driest part of my face. There are a range of primers you can use. I'm sure you guys see me use different primers in all my videos, so you can check some of my older videos out for more options of primers that you can use, but everything I use in this video will be linked in the description box down below. So yeah, now that I have my face nicely primed and white, I'm going to apply my Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops, and you can just use any illuminator you have. I know NYX has a really affordable illuminator that you can use if you don't want to use the NYX one. And I'm just going to drop this on all the areas of my face that I would usually highlight. I don't know how Instagram girls do this, guys. Me, I just swipe it on. I like to use my fingers because I think it really warms up the product into my skin the way I want it to, and it just gives me the effect I want, so I just use my fingers. Okay, so now that I look like tin foil, it's time to go in with foundation. But for this video, I'm going to be using the Deciem The Ordinary Foundation in shade 3.2R. You can use any foundation you have. Another foundation I really like using is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. I'm just going to start using my brush to blend it onto my skin. I'm sure you guys have seen me use this foundation a couple of times. If you haven't seen my video on my review of this foundation, I'll link it up here so you can check it out as well. It's really affordable. So guys, next, and one of the most important steps I like to do for my foundation routine is to take my damp beauty blender and just bounce that around my face to soak up the excess product that's just sitting on my skin. So basically I'm just bouncing around, and if you use a clean beauty blender, you can see your beauty blender becoming dirty because it's just picking up the excess foundation. I don't know if you guys can see this, but like my skin is literally glowing and I don't have any highlights on, guys. So once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a concealer to highlight. And because this is the winter months, I like to layer my concealers so that they come off a bit more, glowy and dewy, because everything is so dry in the winter. First of all, I'm going to be taking the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in Deep Golden, and I'm just going to apply this to underneath my eyes, just like that, just a little bit. My chin, I'm going to apply this to the bridge of my nose, and I'm going to apply this to my forehead in a vertical line because I'm not trying to increase the size of my forehead. Then I'm going to just go in and blend that out with my damp beauty blender as well. And I'm making sure not to move the product around too much because it's a really creamy concealer. It tends to move around, so I'm trying to keep it in the place that I want my concealer to stay. The key to achieving flawless foundation application is to take your time blending. I always tell people the easiest way for your foundation to look very flawless and natural is for you to just take your time blending and you get the perfect finish. So basically, just want to make sure that you don't have any harsh line anywhere on your face. So I'm going in and pouncing my beauty blender all over my face. I'm sure you guys can see that I'm literally already radiating. Now that I'm done blending in that concealer, I'm going to go in with a drier concealer just to set that concealer in place so it doesn't move and so my glow stays intact. And for this, I'm going in with the NARS Soft Matte Creamy Concealer in the shade Armande. Apply this concealer to underneath my eyes like so. Now that I'm done blending out the highlights on my entire face, I'm going to go ahead to contour to make sure that I give my face some dimension and I sculpt it nicely. For this, I'm going to be using my black Opal stick foundation in shade Black Walnut, and I'm just going to apply a bit of that to the area I want to contour. And if you guys haven't seen my highlights and contour routine for round faces, I'll also link that up here for you guys to check out because that video will be useful to you, I promise. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that out as normal. Now it's time to set, and the key instrument in achieving your flawless foundation look is your damp beauty blender. You have to make sure your beauty blender is constantly dampened because that's really going to make all your products blend into your skin more and really make it flawless. To set my highlights, I'm going to be using the Sacha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm just going to take a bit of that on my damp beauty sponge and I'm just going to press that into my skin. And I like to really go in and really press that powder in so that I don't have a white cast on my face. I like to also set my smile lines because I realize that my foundation creases in there the most during the winter time. And when I'm done with that, to bring some more color onto my skin, I'm also going to go ahead to set my contour. And I'm using the NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette in HPP01. And I'm just taking the darkest shade from that palette and I'm just going to use that to lightly set my contour just to bring back that melanin to my skin. I also like to go in to bronze my face just to, you know, really give my face that warm look. So I'm using my Covergirl Queen bronzer in Ebony Bronze. I'm just basically going to take a bit of that bronzer and just bronze my skin. I'm just going to go over my face and make sure that everything is blended. There are no harsh lines, and I'm blending in circular motions. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and I'll be back to see you guys. So I'm just basically going to be showing you guys how I get that extra glowy highlighted look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray my face with some setting spray, and I'm going to be using the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. I'm going to make sure that my face is not completely dry, just almost semi-dry. And then I'm going to go in with my highlighter. I'm using the MAC Gold Deposit highlighter, and I'm just going to take some of that and I'm just going to apply that to the point of my face I want to highlight. And this really makes my highlight a lot more pigmented because it's basically applying on setting spray. But the only thing about this is that I have to work quickly and blend out the highlight quickly because however it sets, that's the way it's going to be on my face. And I like to focus a good quantity of my highlight on the high points of my cheeks. I also highlight my nose. And just to give myself an iridescent glow, I'm going to go in with my Carli, Bybel and BH Cosmetics palette. And I'm just going to take this pinky shade from here. It's a bit ashy for me, but it just gives me this nice iridescent highlight. So I'm just going to apply that right to the center of where I applied my gold deposit. And this just really makes my highlight pop. I also apply that to the center of my nose, and then I go back in with my beauty blender just to blend it all out. And then for good measure, I also go ahead and set my face again, and this just lets everything absorb into my skin while I go ahead and put on my lips. So guys, this is basically how my makeup came out. I put on my lipstick and everything. All the products I use will be listed in the description box down below. And yeah, I'm sure you guys can see that my skin is glowing, 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 and glowing. I hope you guys learned a thing or two from this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. You don't know I'm back with a new way. DJ turn up the speaker. DJ turn up the speaker. Girl them follow the leader. Girl them follow the leader. Baby bend it. Whoa baby bend it. Break your back like